Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the Up from the Depths weekly live stream. Looks like we got a decent amount of people in here already. I see Mike's Monsters is here. Good to see you. Skadoo, good to see you. Kaiju Fan Triple Battle. What's up, your boy Pancho? The man behind the mic shows himself. Yes. This must be your first time because I've been doing that for a little while now. Madison Russell, good to see you. So Jazz, hello. Forgot to add my little background music. Hopefully everybody can hear it. So how's everybody doing today? It's been a pretty exciting week for kaiju news. The obvious one is, of course, the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer finally came out. Finally. After much anticipation, we got it 2 months before the movie comes out. Has there ever been a big blockbuster release that had a trailer come out so close to the release date? Yes, and then there's the Shin Ultraman trailer, which I will show on the stream tonight. It's short enough. I've watched it a couple times already. As somebody who doesn't really know that much about Ultraman, so I'll play it and talk to you guys about it with you guys for a little bit. Yeah, and then in case anybody didn't hear today, there apparently there's going to be a sequel to Cloverfield, and not like the other ones that are like in the same universe but have nothing to do with that movie. This is going to be a full-fledged Cloverfield sequel. Is this a blind reaction to the trailer? No, I've seen it many times already. I'm going to play it muted, of course, because I don't want to get copyrighted, and I'm just going to give my thoughts on certain scenes and talk to you guys about that. And it looks like my cat wants out because for some reason she doesn't like it when she hears me talking. And I guess it disrupts her sleep or something. So give me 1 second. All right, that's better. Don't want those copyright hounds coming after me. Yeah, I already had a copyright strike again on my channel recently, actually on a King Kong video. But unlike Toho, they didn't block the whole video, so you can still watch it. Thankfully. 10 Cloverfield was announced in January and came out in March. Yeah, I guess that counts. Did you see the Shin Ultraman trailer? Yeah, I did. We'll get to that after the Kong trailer. Tonight's stream is gonna be shorter than the other ones because I got some stuff to do. But I figured, and I'm not gonna play any games. We're just gonna kind of go through the trailer, talk about it for a little bit, and then we'll do the Shin Ultraman trailer too. So that's what's on deck for tonight. Is Toho becoming sensitive or something? They've always been sensitive. Respect, respect and honor, but they've always been very protective of their IP. Let's just say. Any spoilers? Yeah. Just want to say outright that we're not going to be getting any leaks or anything like that. So if I speculate on something and if somebody in here has read all the leaks and they know exactly what's going to happen, I would appreciate it if you don't bring that up at all because I haven't read the leaks and I want to go into this movie knowing as little as possible. So I'm only going off what we see in the trailer. I'm going to give my thoughts on what I think the general plot is going to be. The final trailer's coming out in March something. I kind of hope we don't get another trailer, to be honest. Like, I'm good. Like, as somebody who gorged on King of the Monsters media, like I watched the trailers multiple times, and there was a ton of trailers. There was even a trailer that came out like a couple weeks before the movie came out. And then there's all the TV spots, and I even made my own fan trailer that's on the channel if you haven't seen it. But um, then the soundtrack came out, and I listened to that over and over again before the release. It's just I was very oversaturated with stuff, and I think that really kind of hyped it up a little too much, and that's why I came out of the movie lukewarm the first time. I don't want that to happen this time, so I'm kind of distancing myself from the movie this time. So I really hope that, like, for my own sake, I really hope there's only this trailer. Maybe give us another Godzilla trailer. That's what I've heard, that there might be like a more Godzilla focused trailer, but I hope it mostly uses the same footage, just with a slightly more Godzilla perspective applied to it. I can't stop myself from watching new trailers. Yeah, same. Mike's Monsters. If it comes out, I'm gonna watch it. I have no self control. Did I enjoy King of the Monsters? Yeah. At first, I didn't know quite to think about it, but I like it a lot now. I like the way they're doing it now. It feels just right. Well, apparently, I saw on Twitter that Dangerville said that they had contacted him to use his reaction. So it looks like they're gonna do like a viral, like reaction mashup trailer. So you can expect that to come out fairly soon. If we do get another trailer, I'm pretty sure they're gonna focus more on Godzilla since the first trailer was to sell us on Kong. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. They're clearly selling Kong to be the kind of underdog hero, which is kind of what I expected, but we'll see. Is Bear McCreary doing the score? No, the score for this is being done by Junkie XL, which again, I kind of hope they don't release any of the music until after the movie comes out, because as somebody who listened to Bear McCreary's amazing score before the movie came out, like that painted a picture in my mind that the movie did not necessarily live up to. So I would rather that not to happen, and I will have no self control. So if they release this soundtrack, I will probably listen to it. Are you aware of the leaked toy photos? Yes. I haven't seen them. I don't. Well, I've seen some of the regular toys, but I haven't seen the more spoiler-worthy toys. All right, let's get started with the trailer reaction, or whatever you want to call it. So I got the trailer up here. We're just gonna play it muted, so we don't get copyrighted. And of course, we already know right from the start that there's something very interesting right at the beginning of this trailer. There it is. So, yeah, as you can see right here, that is clearly a mech of some kind. It's got little sharp teeth. Get some, I don't know, kind of ember looking stuff here. So, yeah, I mean, this is something that I heard, one of the leaks that I heard, the only one really, that Mechagodzilla is going to be in the movie. So, again, no, like, unless you're theorizing, Matthew Lee, no confirmed spoilers. Please don't mention them in the chat. But this is clearly Mechagodzilla, which I knew was going to be in the movie, so this is not surprising. You don't think it's Mechagodzilla, Doomguy? We'll see. I mean, I guess the cat's out of the bag, but that was one of the things that leaked, so. But how does everybody feel about Mechagodzilla being in the movie? I think it's kind of interesting. And it makes this Godzilla vs. Kong kind of different than the other one. Mecha G got spelled for me in 2018. I can't believe it's been that long. Now, does anybody think it's connected to the cliffhanger in King of the Monsters where we had the severed head with a... I'm blanking on the name of Charles Dance's character right now. I know it normally, but... don't like Mecha G being in this. Doesn't make any sense in the universe. I think we've gotten to the point now where this universe is kind of over the top enough that it's fine. Interested in Mecha G, but I'm curious to see how it plays out. Yeah, me too. And that's another plot point we'll kind of get into as the trailer goes along, because there's something else in here that I think is interesting. But I'm a fan of Mecha Godzilla being in it because it's another classic Toho character being implemented and introduced to mainstream audiences. So I think that's good. And the fact that it's in a Godzilla vs Kong movie and perhaps it's the main threat that will unite them, we'll see. Why will they? How will they explain his creation? Why was he created? Okay, here's the thing. I guess maybe I'll talk about it a little later. But remember that skeleton, that Godzilla skeleton, in the beginning of the first Godzilla, 2014. I'm just saying, and we already had a series where Mechagodzilla was built on the bones of a previous Godzilla, or the first one. So, and that would kind of that's a realistic angle to take with it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they did. Okay, we're gonna continue on. People running, shots of helicopters and boats, you know, the usual. Then of course we got our boy here. Classic King Kong iconography right here. Kong on a boat. It happens in every version of Kong. It's not surprising that they would do it here. I think this is just basically meant to be. It's interesting that like how they'll explain why he's being captured, because it seems like he's relatively calm, like he's not fighting back or anything. So why would they have to capture him? But we'll see. But yeah, I mean, Kong being in chains on a boat is in like every version of King Kong, and they're doing it again. Even in the original King Kong versus Godzilla, they did it there. So they're bringing in that plot point and adding their own spin to it. Okay, then we get to our logos. Interesting. Right here with the Warner Bros. Logo, this is kind of very Kong centric. You can see it's some Kong iconography. It's brown color palette, which brings to mind King Kong. And then when we get to the Legendary logo, we have our Godzilla centric kind of color palette and cave paintings. So even with the studio logos, they're setting up the kind of dichotomy between the two creatures, the versus angle. Another shot of Kong in chains. Very impressive shot, I might say. Liking the look of Kong. That's one thing I really do like about this Kong and the MonsterVerse is his design. It's easily the best King Kong design. Does this mean Warner and Legendary are going to fight? They've already fought. In case you haven't been paying attention to the whole legal stuff, after Warner Brothers announced that they were going to do their streaming, same-day streaming, Legendary was not happy about it. I think that contributed to the delay of the trailer because they're trying to figure out a deal. And apparently they paid them the entire production budget to Legendary, so they made their money back at the very least. WB paid a pretty penny to put this movie on HBO Max. Darn him in chains again? Yeah. Kong's like, not again. This happens every time I'm reincarnated. But yeah, this version of King Kong is my favorite design. They like took the original King Kong and updated it. Instead of him just being like a silverback gorilla like in Peter Jackson's, which as much as I like that movie, it does bug me that he's basically just a gorilla. This one's more of like an actual, like a made up creature. He's an ape, but he's not just an ape. Plus, he's ripped as hell. We got our, what's his name? Skarsgård? I can't remember all their names. We got our little girl, new little girl character. She's gonna represent the humanity connected to King Kong. We're not going to stop too much on this stuff. It's not the most interesting, obviously. Here's a great image right here of Kong doing his thing. I was just thinking about this today. That's always been one of the core differences between King Kong and Godzilla, is that Kong has a connection to humanity. He notices us, he touches us, he picks us up. Whereas Godzilla is aloof to humanity. You're lucky if you get him to even notice you. Like, the farthest it's ever gotten is in King of the Monsters, when he like, kind of peers down and goes, "Oh, I see you guys," and then he just moves on with his life because humanity is beneath him. But King Kong, he has a very explicit connection to humanity. And I think that's one of the reasons why people in general kind of have more empathy for King Kong, is he's an inherently sympathetic character that we actually can connect to, whereas Godzilla is very distant. He's more apathetic. So he's colder. Also, he's a reptile. They're cold-blooded, and humans evolved to have a deeper connection to mammals, obviously. Death Egg with the $5 super chat to just say egg. Well, thank you for the super chat just to say that. Death Egg, I appreciate it. I mean, Godzilla did save me after all. He did save you, Madison Russell, but he didn't save you on purpose. Like, he didn't say, "Oh, look, there's Madison Russell, I gotta save her." It was a coincidence. That's always how it is with him. That happens multiple times in Godzilla 2014. Ford Brody is saved multiple times by Godzilla just by sheer coincidence. Godzilla fights for nature, not for humans. Right. And this is the reason why humans and audiences root for Kong more in general, unless you're a Godzilla fan, like me and many of you. He just has more humanity to him. There's more depth to him in terms of like emotion. Like, that little girl's so tiny that like Kong could accidentally squish her if he really wanted to, but he doesn't, and that's because he's very considerate. Whereas Godzilla's like, I don't know, he might be in my way, he might not be. Then we have this. I really like this, how you can like hear Godzilla do his little like whale moan, is what I call it, like he did in 2014. I think that's really creepy and awesome. And then we finally get some Godzilla versus military action in the series. First time in the Monsterverse. I'm really excited for this sequence, actually. It's about time we got some... I love this shot right here. It's about time we got some Godzilla versus the military in the Monsterverse. He's always been the good guy. Now, he's not, but probably still good. Like, you can see all the boats kind of shooting at him. Like, they're giving him everything they can. And it's doing nothing. Stealth Ghost 07 with the $2 super chat. Fire versus fur. Yep. That's one thing that makes Godzilla and Kong such a good matchup, is there's a lot of contrast. The contrast between them is very high. I want to see a big budget American destruction scene. Yeah. And it looks like we're going to get that. I think Godzilla's attacking the ships delivering Kong since they're disrupting the natural balance. Well, given that we know that Mechagodzilla is in the movie, I'm going to guess that that's what's upsetting the natural balance, and he doesn't like that very much. But in 2014, he went out of his way to avoid the military because fighting them was unnecessary, so why attack now? Well, notice when I say Godzilla versus the military, I don't think he's going to actually like attack them. Like, every shot in this sequence anyway, he kind of just blows through them. Like, that ship that he like swam through, it was just in his way. He wasn't intentionally destroying the ship. Although with that tail swipe to the jet, that kind of looked like he did that on purpose, but maybe not. So we'll keep going. Reaction shots, Kong being scared. This is great right here when Godzilla pops up. Then we got Rebecca Hall mentioning the obvious. Then we have our big money shot of the trailer. Is it just me, or did Godzilla just get smaller? I'm not sure. My guess, I know people are like saying like he should be way bigger. He wouldn't be able to stand up on that aircraft carrier, but I would guess they made this carrier specifically to carry Kong. And if Kong is Godzilla's size, they'd have to make a carrier to fit Kong. So I don't think it's a normal size aircraft carrier. I think it's a Godzilla size aircraft carrier, but we'll see in the movie. People say Destroyer will be in the movie. Thoughts? Zero chance. That's not going to happen. So Godzilla doesn't antagonize until you antagonize first. This version of Godzilla, I would guess yes. And they antagonize by creating Mecha Godzilla, is what I'm guessing. Like they finally created a machine that can kill a Titan, and Godzilla cannot stand for that. You're disrupting the natural balance, and also it threatens his life, so he's gonna attack. So then Kong comes in with a huge punch to the face. I know a lot of people make a deal with this, but here's the thing, okay? I'm going to defend my guy Godzilla because he kind of doesn't really get a good shot in this trailer. Um, Kong may be faster and may be able to get in a lot of hits to Godzilla, but Godzilla can take a lot of damage. He's pretty much invincible. So even though Kong just decked him in the face, that's fine. Godzilla can take it. He can take a lot of hits. He's pretty much invincible. Kong is not. So he's a damage soaker. He can take every hit Kong's got coming. And my prediction is that this is the first fight of the movie. Richard Channing with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Do you think that Kong's axe is enough to bridge the power gap between him and Godzilla? I think that will be kind of like Thor's hammer in Infinity War. I think that'll be the thing that gives him the power necessary to be able to stand a better chance against Godzilla. Which plays into what I was saying here, was that this is the first fight, and considering that it is inevitably going to transition into the ocean, which is Godzilla's, like we see here with this cool shot, Kong jumps into the water. So once that happens, Kong is going to be on Godzilla's turf. He's not going to fare well once he jumps into that water. So my prediction is that this is the first fight of the movie, and Godzilla's going to win. And that's going to be the kind of part of the movie where Kong has to lick his wounds and come up with a way to be able to fight back, and that's where the axe is going to come in. So that's what I predict. Basic, loose, very loose structure, in which the second fight will take place in Hong Kong with the neon lights and all that, which has got very nice Pacific Rim vibes. Cool shot of Godzilla swimming in the ocean. This guy's saying we're in dangerous times, and of course, okay, we got another interesting little sneak peek at the plot here. This is apparently Serizawa's son. How do you think they are going to split up from this first fight? I don't know. Somehow Kong's going to get away. Yeah, but apparently this is Dr. Serizawa's son, which he's failed to mention throughout the two movies. And then, of course, we got back here, systems, maximum, minimum charge, whatever it says. Again, probably, most likely, definitely Mechagodzilla. So my theory, it's a pretty obvious one, is that Serizawa's son hates Godzilla because Serizawa, spoilers for King of the Monsters, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Serizawa gave his life to save Godzilla, and he probably isn't too happy about that. And on top of that, my theory is that because Serizawa spent so much time studying Godzilla, that he probably didn't pay that much attention to his son to the point where he failed to ever mention him. And he probably has a chip on his shoulder too. So he probably has daddy issues, and then on top of that, his dad was killed by the thing that drew his attention away from him. And so that increases the grudge even more. So he hates Godzilla and he wants to kill him. And before doing that, well, I guess I don't think Godzilla's mind controlled like some people do. I think he's just reacting to the presence of Mechagodzilla, but I could be wrong. Same page as you, on my opinion. We're always on the same page, Mike's Monsters. That's just bad parenting. Yeah, it turns out Serizawa probably not the best father. So Serizawa loved a radioactive lizard more than his son? Kinda. I mean, it's a simplistic way of putting it, but yeah. A guy so devoted to his work that he failed to pay attention to his son. No matter how strong Godzilla is, Kong will win because he has plot armor. He has written in the script to win. Well, yeah, obviously, it's all fake. So you can always come up with a reason for anyone to win. Fans, why didn't you ever mention your son, Serizawa's son? What son? Yeah. Serizawa wanted Godzilla as his son instead of the real son. That's harsh. Can't really blame the guy for feeling the way he does, I guess, but you didn't need to create a giant robot Godzilla. They're go to therapy. Okay, we got this amazing shot right here. I love this shot. I love the colors. Very Pacific Rim vibes, which is never a bad thing. Like, it's so colorful. You got the reds and the greens and the blues and the purples. It's gorgeous. Gonna end with Godzilla and Kong holding hands walking off to the sunset? Maybe, we'll see. Do I think this will be the last movie in the MonsterVerse? It depends on how well it does, both box office and numbers wise on HBO Max. Wallpaper material? Indeed, yes. Yeah, that's another thing. I really like in the color palette of this movie so far. Everything's very clear. As much as I like King of the Monsters, and I do understand why they use the weather effects to create atmosphere, I still would like to see clear shots of the monsters. And so far, this movie looks like it's doing great in that regard. So we got Mark Russell returning. He's talking about how Godzilla is hurting people and we don't know why. Let's see if I can. No, you can't really see it from there. Great shot of. But in that monitor behind him, you can't see it here, but I think it said that Godzilla destroyed something in Florida. So, sorry, Florida. Godzilla's hurting people. We don't know why. I don't know, Dad. You helped blow up a bomb in his face. Hey, that helped him though. So, will the oxygen destroyer be used again? Maybe. Hopefully, they develop that plot bit a little bit more. So we got this amazing shot of Godzilla destroying stuff. Another great, great shot. I didn't like how they painted Godzilla as a villain when he was the hero in the first two. See, I like that they're doing that because villainous Godzilla is very traditional Godzilla. He's almost always the villain. He was the villain in the original King Kong versus Godzilla. So having him be the villain is interesting to me, and it calls back to the roots of the character. And plus, he's not actually a villain because he has his reasons of doing things, which is a plot point that the trailer goes over briefly right here. So we got our little board here. Right here it says Monarch stumped. Basically, I don't know why Godzilla's doing what he's doing, and he's attacked a lot of apex facilities, whatever that is. I like Mad Godzilla. Yeah, I like Mad Godzilla too. Godzilla deserves to be mad sometimes, okay? Humans are terrible in a lot of ways, you know? Come on, it's Godzilla. If you have a giant lizard casually walking in the city, you expect massive deaths. Yeah. Godzilla angry and serious. I was son angry, angry turned into Godzilla, the mech of angry. Apparently, we go back to Antarctica. I don't know. We'll see. Think he's searching for. I think he's searching for the facility that holds Mechagodzilla in it. That's my theory. He wants to destroy it. So we're gonna have a subplot with Madison Russell and the other character. I can't remember the actor's name. He was in Deadpool 2. They're gonna be in there, which I think it's gonna be a fun little plot probably. Where Madison and this guy get in their little storm tracker van, they go off on their own, and they're gonna try to figure out what's going on with Godzilla. You know, and they're gonna travel the world, and they're gonna try to figure out, you know, why is he attacking things while everybody else is dealing with the bigger picture stuff. Then let's go back to that real quick. I think this is not Skull Island. I think this is the Hollow Earth. If you look at the background, it looks like, although I don't know why there'd be clouds in the Hollow Earth, but whatever. Millie Bobby Brown is back. Yep, as is her dad. Probably in more limited roles because there are other characters in this movie. Godzilla 2000 vibes? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Martin. Being in a little van trying to track Godzilla, it's very Godzilla 2000 ish, which I like. So, and then we got our Simba moment here. And I know a lot of people were saying, like, is this the Super X? It's like, no, it's, what's it called? The Hollow Earth HVAC or something? It looks very Super X esque, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's an homage in a sort of way. But they're definitely in the Hollow Earth here, which is going to be a big part of the plot. Yeah, the Hollow Earth theory was touched upon in both Kong Skull Island and then kind of expanded upon a little bit more in King of the Monsters, and that's going to be, I can't think, fully explored in Godzilla vs. Kong. If you look into the sky in that snapshot, there's mountains upside down. It's the Hollow Earth, yeah. Which is actually pretty cool. I think visually it's going to be very interesting. There's a lot of interesting visuals in this movie based on this trailer. How long is it from King of the Monsters? You know, I'm not sure about that. Probably not as long as the gap between King of the Monsters and 2014. Don't get why it's so well lit down there. Don't think about it. Unless they come up with some kind of scientific mumbo jumbo for it. We got Kong putting his hand on the print. I know a lot of people are saying that this is like maybe like a flashback to the war between the Kongs and the Godzillas. Which is possible, but I wonder what are these glowing things? Are these like little drones or something from Monarch? I feel like they're doing a Journey to the Center of the Earth thing with the Hollow Earth. Yeah, it's definitely very Journey to the Center of the Earth. I just got here. What do you think of the fake Godzilla theory? One, I don't like it, and two, I don't believe in it. So, I believe Godzilla is Godzilla all the way through. Um, he's destroying stuff because he's angry, as he has the right to be. If we made Mecha Godzilla, you know, it's a solid enough plot point in and of itself. You don't need to add in fake Godzillas to complicate it. Also, if the Godzilla that Kong fights is technically Mecha Godzilla, that doesn't that ruin the whole premise of the movie? I came to see Godzilla versus Kong. If Godzilla is Mecha Godzilla in disguise the whole movie, then that title is technically wrong. and I don't like that. I want real Godzilla versus real King Kong. Will Kong be King Kong by the end? It's very possible. Maybe the axe is like an old tradition that has been handed down through generations of Kongs and the never-ending struggle against Godzillas. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be like it's made of like the bone of a Godzilla and it's got his spine on it, and then it's like tied up with like his skin or something, from what I've heard, which is pretty gnarly. Like that's genuinely cool. The movie is called Godzilla versus Kong, not Mecha Godzilla versus Kong. Exactly. That's why I don't like that theory. Don't like it one bit. Then we got this amazing shot. We're in the Hollow Earth again here. Apparently, that's where the war bats reside. So apparently, they're going to take a little jaunt down there, probably to find the axe or to find the materials to make the axe. So basically, my theory is that Kong's going to fight Godzilla in the aircraft carrier in the ocean. He's going to lose. He's going to get away somehow. Godzilla's going to continue on his rampage while Monarch aids Kong in the obtainment of his axe in the Hollow Earth, where they're going to discover the origins of the monsters and the war between the Godzillas and the Kongs. I like how the monsterverse is expanding the Kong mythos, giving him rogues gallery like Skullcrawlers, Kamatos, what's that, and Warbats. Yeah, I like the original monsters, and also, as many have noted, these things look very similar to the King Cobra from Godzilla the series, to the point where I wouldn't be surprised if they just like straight up took inspiration from that. Love the Showa vibes in this shot. Yeah, like swinging around by the tail is classic Showa stuff. Yeah, I love the colors in the shot too. Like, and it's all very clear and crisp. I like it. The axe is made of Muto bone. It's made of something. Bone is something. Do you like the Warbat design? It's fine. It's like kind of like a generic monster. It does the job. They need a good explanation for how Kong gets away from the fight at sea. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be fine. My theory is that it is Mechagodzilla framing Godzilla, as you can see. Wait. Okay, the chat went by too fast. Oh well. Will Godzilla fight other kaiju like Kong? Maybe. Want to see Godzilla do the dropkick at the Monsterverse at some point? That would be funny. Alright, moving on. Okay, then we got another shot of Godzilla and Kong kind of sizing each other up. I'm gonna say it right here. I think this shot is probably near the end of the movie, given the sunrise and everything, or at least the end of their fight, when they probably stop fighting and they team up. So we're gonna get two fights. Godzilla wins the first one. Um, we got Mad Kong right here. We'll go further into the trailer here. I think that this is the second fight right here, where they fight in Hong Kong, and that's the fight where Kong wins. Hey bro, please say my name, Syed Akbar. There, I said it. So I think this is gonna be the second fight, and because once Kong gets his axe, he's gonna beat Godzilla. So we're gonna have two fights. Godzilla wins one, Kong wins one. Therefore, everybody kind of gets what they wanted. But before Kong can, I guess, win, for whatever reason, they're gonna call a truce. I guess Mecha Godzilla will pop up. So we're promised a winner. We were promised a winner, and I mean they're going all in on that promise. The tagline of the movie is "One will fall." So, and I think Godzilla will fall. You think there's gonna be another fight after the team up? You know, that would be interesting, because it's like kind of like a respect thing. I would like that. I really hope they give give these guys a lot of character with their rivalry. Let's go back. There we go. Kong looking very, very angry right here. Okay, so we got these bat creatures. I think we're in the Hollow Earth again. I think, oh, it looks like a glowing silhouette of Godzilla. That's interesting. I'd rather Godzilla not fall since he fell in the first one. I mean, he lost a one fight. Well, he didn't really lose it, but he came out on top at the end. How much would Warner Brothers or Legendary have to pay Toho to use all their kaiju? A lot. They had to pay a lot for just Godzilla, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Mothra. So we got Kong fighting bat creatures again, because that happened in the Peter Jackson remake. Then we got another shot of Kong just clobbering Godzilla, which again, he can take a lot of hits, so it's okay. A shot of Madison looking very distressed because she doesn't like seeing her hero getting punched. It'll be interesting to see the differences between her and, like, she's probably going to be very pro on the Godzilla side given her past history with it. And then the other people are going to be pro Kong, I'm guessing. At least Rebecca Hall's character and the people she's with. Yeah, I noticed that too. Madison's got like gray hair. I guess trying to chase a giant lizard and figure out why he's going crazy can be pretty stressful. So you can forgive her for developing some gray. Godzilla needed to get at least a hit in, otherwise it doesn't hype up the fight as much. Yeah, that'll be maybe one nitpick of this trailer is they didn't give us like every shot of Godzilla and Kong fighting. It's always Kong landing a hit. If it's Madison looking worried because Godzilla's on the verge of losing, I'm gonna flip out. That's probably what it is. Maybe not necessarily this exact shot, but that'll probably happen. Just got a bit dusty. I guess I didn't think of that. That's probably a good possibility too. Then we got distressed Skarsgård. He's got a monarch symbol on his shoulder. Then we got the money shot where Kong charges at him with his axe, and somehow it's able to like not just deflect, but actually kind of like it's almost like a magnet, or like Godzilla's atomic breath. He like can, if we like move the axe up or down, it would like move along with it. At least is the vibe I'm getting from it. Then we get our explosion when he hits him in the head, and then our title. So yeah, that's the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. Pretty excited, as a lot of you know, if you any of you regulars that come into the streams, I've been pretty meh about Godzilla vs. Kong for a while, just because there's been nothing about it. But it's interesting how just once you finally get a morsel of something, your hype just skyrockets. Spirit Bomb energy absorbing powers in that axe to blast at Godzilla. Yep. That shot is awesome. Let's go back to it. Kong looking mighty right here. We'll stop there. If we do end up getting more MonsterVerse films, how would we top this? Kind of hard to top Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know. Like, where do you go? You have to get more Toho monsters or something, or like, what do you do next? Do you just create new original monsters and just have them fight again? So what happens when you keep escalating things? Eventually, you reach a plateau, and then you gotta figure out what you do after that. Randall Chevalier with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. I noticed lots of focus on Godzilla vs. Kong, but have you heard or seen Howl from Beyond the Fog? I have seen, uh, or heard of that, I should say, and I have watched the trailer. Um, I'd like to see it someday. It looks interesting, especially because it's done with like puppets or something, right? Kong can best Ghidorah as long as he gets stronger with electricity. I always said that I hoped Kong would get his electricity powers in here, but I don't think he will. Everyone going to be surprised at the surprise Anger's appearance? I would like that. Do you think Toho will keep using suits or go full CGI? It looks like they're going full CGI considering the Shin Ultraman trailer. Wait, is that Toho? I don't know. This chat's just knowing, yeah, I'm working on that, Skidoo. Love from India. Right back at you, see it, Akbar. My guess is that Madison and Jai are going to bond probably because they're probably had similar backstories and Jai could remind her of Andrew. Um, yeah, that's definitely a possibility. They've been working very, very hard to make this film a big banger of an experience. They must have been planning carefully on when to put the trailer out. That's another thing. I'm really surprised in a good way to see the interest in this trailer because it's already reached 43 million views at the time of this stream. So, I mean, that's even the original Godzilla 2014 trailer didn't reach those numbers, like in its entirety. Like it's got less views now, 6 years after the fact, than the Godzilla vs Kong trailer. So, and based on people's very positive reactions, it seems like this movie has all of a sudden like gained a lot of interest from general moviegoers. Which it pains me that most people are probably not going to see this in the theater. Stupid pandemic. Because I think if things were normal right now, this movie has a chance to be very successful. Based on what the kind of reaction it's getting. Like general moviegoers seem to be very interested in this. And maybe it's the Kong effect. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm seeing it in IMAX. I'm gonna try to see it in a theater here where I'm at. The theater where I'm at just reopened this week, and I'm hoping it stays that way because the numbers so far in the state of Illinois are pretty good. So hopefully it doesn't go back up in the next 2 months. Fingers crossed. I'm still seeing the movie in theaters. And maybe this movie will revive theaters instead of Tenet, which would be hilarious. Hello all, what's everyone drinking? I'm drinking water. So weird that I'm more excited for some of the characters than the monsters, especially the ones from the last movie, because I want to see what happens to them. What character specifically? Obviously, I assume that you're excited for Madison Russell. I mean, Rebecca Hall's character looks interesting. I don't know anything about the other guy. Godzilla vs. Kong might still be a huge hit given it's the first big movie of the new year to stomp its way into theaters. Yeah, we'll see. Theater commented on my recent tweets saying that there have been no confirmed cases from a movie theater. They're taking many precautions to stay afloat as businesses. Yeah, from that's what I've done my research too. Before I saw Tenet, I watched some things about how AMC is doing what they can to make sure theaters are clean. Like you can't sit next to anybody that you're not immediately there with. So and they limit capacity to theaters. They clean it obsessively. They got a special uh, like air ventilation system installed. So as long as you keep your mask on, I don't usually get things when I go to the theater. I just pay for my tickets, so I'm not going to be eating anything. So as long as you keep your mask on, you're not close to other people, you'll probably be okay. Oh yeah, that's another thing. No, Chen is supposed to be in this movie as well. We didn't see anything from her. My friends and I keep talking about how we didn't expect this response from the general public. I don't know. There's just something about Godzilla versus Kong. Well, we know what it is, given the kind of interesting relationship these two fictional characters have had with each other, kind of the way they've influenced each other over the decades. It's very interesting. So if Kong wins, what does it mean if the other Titans lose respect for Godzilla? I don't know. We'll see. Are we gonna get a scene where everybody bows to Kong? Boo! I'm not a fan of that. People like Monkey Punch Fire Lizard. Yeah, as funny as it sounds. I don't think Chen is going to play a big role, but I think it was sort of hint at least that her and Mark have something going on. Oh, like they develop a little relationship. I guess that would kind of make sense. That is kind of as King of the Monsters went on, those two characters kind of started to Chen started to become more of a prominent character. Who do I support, bro? I support Godzilla. I always do. I will always be Team Godzilla. Uh, Thad $10 super chat. Thank you. I mean, Godzilla vs. Kong might be just what most audiences want to see in light of recent times. The idea of watching the greatest giant monsters go to war in a big budget film, big win. Yeah, I mean, maybe people kind of just want to lose themselves considering the state of the world right now. And I think people are kind of looking for some escapism, like somebody you just kind of shut your brain off. There will be no winner in this movie. They will team up to fight Mecha Ghidorah. I don't think know about Mecha Ghidorah, but there will be Mecha Godzilla, and they will probably team up. Team Godzilla even in 54? Well, no. That Godzilla's a big meanie face, but when he's fighting anybody, it's always Godzilla. Unless I could be Team Mothra too. I don't even think there'll be any theaters open here on the West Coast. Yeah, that's the bad thing. Is the major metropolitan, metropolitan, the major cities, they're the ones that have the most lockdowns, and those are the most highly populated areas in the country. So that really puts a dent in box office. Jet Jaguar should be in the next movie. Yes, without question. Warner Brothers, Legendary, get the rights to Jet Jaguar. Richard Channing, $5 super chat. Thank you very much. How do you rank the MonsterVerse films so far? So far, I like them all kind of equally. So that's kind of hard, but I would probably go Godzilla 2014, number one. Um, I guess if I'm going to be honest, probably Kong Skull Island and then King of the Monsters. Both Godzilla and Kong have Kennys in this film. I can almost guarantee that Kong and Godzilla will stop fighting because they see Madison and the new Kenny cooperating. I just like the way Godzilla 2014 is has that build up. I like the build up of the movie. I like the simplicity of it. I like there are sequences in that movie that are just so well crafted that that's what puts it over the edge for me. So who do you think will win? Probably King Kong. Like I said, Godzilla's gonna win the first fight. Kong's gonna lick his wounds. Kong's gonna come back with his axe, and he's gonna beat Godzilla. I have a little theory on how Mothra's sword are going to be in it in some way. Maybe part of her soul survived in Madison. That's why she is determined to go after Godzilla. When did her soul go into Madison? I went into Godzilla, but I do hope we get a little bit of Rodan or Mothra in here. I hear rumors that Ghidorah's brain will be used to bring Mechagodzilla to life. That makes sense. I figure Mechagodzilla's head, or King Ghidorah's head, is going to be play some part into the development of Mechagodzilla. I hope they bring back Behemoth. Apparently, there's like a leaked toy of that. I saw a picture of it today on Twitter. I heard another theory Godzilla's attacking because he's looking for an egg, which means he's looking for Manila. I made a video way in the early days of my channel about asking kind of like if it's a good idea to have the son of Godzilla in the MonsterVerse. I think it's a good idea. You don't have to go the Manila route where he's like a derpy looking doughboy. Like, you can make it a proper baby Godzilla. I think that would develop Godzilla's character in interesting ways. Basically, what happens when a grumpy old man suddenly finds out he's a father? That's pretty interesting to me. What do you think about this version of Godzilla and Kong continuing after this movie? Do you think it's possible because of the rights? It really depends on how well this movie does. Which, based on the reaction to it, it seems like it should do fairly well. Unfortunately, we don't have majority of theaters open to be able to know for sure. Baby Yoda was a hit. Baby Godzilla could be too. Yeah, you'd have the cute factor too. Nah, they should name him Godzuki. No, please don't. Please don't. Think they'll use classic Mechagodzilla roars and sound effects? No. They've aside from Godzilla's roar, they haven't used old sound effects. So I don't expect them to do that here. Would you rather see a legendary Space Godzilla or a legendary Destroyer? We'd have to come up with a reason for why those monsters were created. And Destroyer, at least the Oxygen Destroyer, has been used in this universe, whereas Godzilla, so far as I understand, has not visited space. So I don't know how a Space Godzilla could be created. So I guess between those two, I'd pick Destroyer. Even though I think the implementation of the Oxygen Destroyer in King of Monsters was very sloppy. Alright, so who's ready to take a look at the Shin Ultraman trailer? It's very short. I don't know how much I have to say about it because I don't know that much about Ultraman, but I do have something to say about it considering I've seen Shin Godzilla. Bro, where are you from? I'm from the United States, Midwest. Alright, I'm gonna pull it to, or throw it over to full screen real quick right here as I switch over to Ultraman. Alright, so basically I imagine something in the Cell Shin Godzilla, but way lighter in tone. Yeah. I'm gonna unmute this because I don't think I'll get copyrighted for it, but if I do, I'll just deal with it. If anything, it's going to have a weird or eerie feeling in a fun way. Okay, apparently the name of these monsters are Niranga and Gabora. Not Gabra, Gabora. So yeah, I don't have too much to say about it other than I'll probably watch it just because it's from uh, Hideaki Anno. I'm wondering if it's gonna be very newbie friendly. I hope it is. Cause who knows, maybe it'll make me like super interested in Ultraman. So I'll watch it as soon as I can. Will I review Ultraman? It's a possibility. We'll see. Do you watch Wikizilla? Not regularly, but I have. Also, that was another announcement I mentioned earlier in the chat. This has been a good week for kaiju stuff. We had Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. We had the announcement of Cloverfield sequel. We had the Shin Ultraman trailer come out. And then we had the announcement that we're going to get a Kong anime on Netflix. A little bit about the yellow monster, Naranga. Its ability is to consume electricity and makes itself invisible. Is that like one of the earliest Ultraman episodes? Because I feel like I may have seen that. I've only seen like 3 or 4. If you like the classic Godzilla movies, you'll definitely enjoy Ultraman. Yeah, from the few episodes I've seen, it looked pretty interesting. I don't know. There's just so many other things. Kind of got pushed aside for other things. I'm an Ultraman fan, and this trailer got me hyped. Well, that's a good sign. It's getting Ultraman fans hyped. Right. Toho also launched their own Godzilla YouTube channel. That happened too. So a lot of stuff going on. It's very early. The movie is supposed to be a retelling of the 1966 show. I think I'm gonna wait and watch Go into Shin Ultraman as blind as I can be. I want to be one of those people who knows almost nothing about the series, which is not technically true because I have seen the first few episodes of the second series, not Ultra Q, but the original Ultraman. So I'm not a complete like I'm not completely ignorant about it, but I still don't know that much. So I wanna kind of be one of those people that one of those newbie people, just so you can see my reaction to that. Do you think Mechagodzilla is good or evil in the upcoming movie? Probably evil relative to the plot. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty eventful year for monster stuff. Thoughts on Godzilla's Singular Point coming to Netflix? Probably just as excited for that as I am Godzilla vs Kong. Before Godzilla vs Kong, Singular Point was top because we actually had a trailer for that. Now I'd probably say it's equal with Godzilla vs Kong, so they're probably neck and neck. Naranga first appeared in episode 3 of the original Ultraman series, so I have seen that. I thought that monster sounded familiar, so I have seen the episode with that monster in it. With the sudden resurgence of kaiju films, do you think Gamera might make an appearance? Um, I hope, not Dai, but Katakawa decides to revive Gamera too. I hope they see the trend and they actually do something with that character. He's been sitting on a shelf for far too long. They could do some really cool and interesting things with Gamera. Yeah, there is going to be a Skull Island animated series. It's going to be an anime specifically, I think. That's what I heard. Hey man, just dropping by to cheer on my favorite kaiju film reviewer. Keep up with the great work. Thank you, Kikizilla101. Hi, you won't believe me, but my dad helped a bit with Godzilla vs. Kong. This trailer was for Kong, and the next is Godzilla. The final trailer is about the war and all facts. Hope you believe me. It all facts. I mean, I'm not gonna believe you based on your only word, but if those things come to be, I will remember you and I will remember that you were right and that you were telling the truth. In fact, Thomas Toomey, if that comes to pass, I want you to come into the stream whenever closest the next trailer comes out so you can confirm that you were telling the truth. Let's be honest, it's a great time to be a kaiju fan. It is. There's a lot of content coming out. The Godzilla from the trailer is Mecha Godzilla. It's not Godzilla. Nope, I don't. I don't think that at all. What is the most exciting non-kaiju related thing happening this year? Do you mean like pop culture wise? I don't. I can't think of that off the top of my head. Watch your top 10 best human characters. Really enjoyed it, and most of my picks were on that list. Keep up the great work, man. Well, thank you, Triangle Jira 93. So far, the reaction to the top 10 characters video has been pretty good. I know there were some notable exceptions. Mickey wasn't on there. I knew that would be controversial. I also noticed that there was no female characters on that list at all as I was making it, and I was like, ooh, that kind of is not good, but it is what it is. If it had been higher, I would have included people like the main character from Against Mechagodzilla, Mickey, um, who else? Probably Katsura, even though I don't think the love story in Terror of Mechagodzilla is particularly good, but it's definitely noteworthy. I watched Colossal with my girlfriend on her recommendation. She told me today she would never forget that movie. I really enjoyed it. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That's a really good movie in general. Like you don't have to be a kaiju fan to like Colossal. I'm actually looking forward to introducing that movie to a particular person as well. Might have to head out soon. I'll probably be ending the stream fairly quickly or fairly soon. No problem. It's either that or something else. My dad kind of leaves me a lot right now. I see him once a month, so yeah. But the thing about the trailer is something private, so I can't tell. I know you don't believe. Like I said, only being skeptical within reason, obviously, because I don't believe just inherently believe what people say on the internet. But like I said, if your statements prove accurate, I will give you credit. I was a bit sad I didn't make the cut, but I get that it's more what really are the best characters and who you like the most. Yeah, with these top 10 lists, I always try to mix in subjectivity with objectivity. Like these are characters. Coincidentally, a lot of these characters are from some of my favorite movies, which is not a coincidence because part of what makes what certain movies my favorites in the series is the characters. Like they contribute to that fact. So it's not surprising that there's so much correlation between the two or cross reference. Can't believe you left out Hiromi Agashira from Shin. Who is that? As much as I love that movie, I can't remember all the characters' names. Adam Wingard will never use fake Godzilla in the film. I don't know about that being specific to Adam Wingard, but I don't believe fake Godzilla is going to be in this movie. Keep up the good work. Your videos helped me find other non-Godzilla kaiju movies like Space Amoeba and eventually Latitude Zero. Nice. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad I could help with expanding your palette of film consumption. It's like the best compliment anyone can give me. especially because I'm trying to expand my own palette of film consumption. A lot of those movies I hadn't seen for the first time, and I don't think I ever would have if I hadn't had this YouTube channel to kind of give me the framework to watch those movies. Hey, I recently subscribed. Great channel. I love Godzilla and hope to become a famous and successful filmmaker someday. Keep up the good work and good luck. Well, good luck to you, Poo Poo Shapiro. I hope your dreams come true. I hope everyone's dreams come true, unless they're bad dreams, in which case I don't want them to come true. Can you do the worst characters in the Godzilla series? I'm not really so much about the negative stuff. Like, that'll just be about me saying, like, oh, this character sucks. They're poorly written. They're shallow, you know? I don't know if there's enough there for that. Hiromi is the woman who Rando Yuguchi calls for help to defeat Godzilla. Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. See, the thing is, those are all very, like, Rando is like the main character. Like, of all the characters in Shin, the ones that had a chance of being on the list were Rando, um, Kyoko Ann Patterson, and then I forgot the name of the guy with the glasses that is kind of like a higher up to Rando. I can't remember his name. There are so many supporting characters in Shin Godzilla. Like, there's really not enough to them to be on the list. Rando is the closest because he is the protagonist, or the closest thing we get to a protagonist. Next list, top 10 best soundtracks. That's definitely on the docket at some point. What do I think is the best Godzilla film? It must be watched. Well, the obvious ones are the original Shin Godzilla. And then my personal favorite is Godzilla vs. Biollante, which I noticed some people were confused by me pronouncing it Biollante in the top 10 video. When I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. That's the proper pronunciation. I've been saying Biollante almost my whole life. It's only recently that I switched because I think that's the right way to say it. Also, I wish it was just Godzilla vs. Kong. It would make it more focused of a film. I think based on what we've seen, I mean, I could be wrong, but the conflict seems to be in focus fairly well. But I can see where you're coming from. Yo, Will Ferrell should be in a Godzilla film. Sure, why not? He can put in good performances, I think. I don't think I've ever seen any serious performances from him, but from what I understand, he has. What do I expect in the movie Godzilla vs. Kong? Probably a fairly ridiculous plot, but in a good way. Um, don't be surprised if the movie doesn't focus on the fights as much as the trailer makes it seem like it's going to. Can you give a shout out to me? Shouting out Gaming with Panda6341. Have you seen Cinemassacre Godzillathon? Yes. I was there back in 2008 when he was doing the Godzillathon all throughout October. We're going to go for a little bit longer and then we'll probably call it a night. Oh, Biollante was actually my first movie introducing myself to Toho Godzilla as a kid. Probably the best one I could have went with at first. That's a good one. A weird one, but a good one. Are Transformer movies kaiju movies? No. They could be mech movies, but there's no monsters in it. Did you know that Ted Elliott, same person who wrote the unmade TriStar Godzilla script, also wrote the screenplay for Godzilla vs. Kong? Yes. I remember seeing that name when I was reading the credentials for the script and being like, Ted Elliott. Wait, he's the guy who did the original 94 Godzilla. Can you give me a shout out too, please? Sure, AJ the God Rodriguez. I love Godzilla vs. Hedorah. I'm a big fan of Art House. Yeah, that movie I gave 3 stars because I do like the art house aspect of it, but there's just the characters are pretty not good, and the fights are very poorly paced, in my opinion. All right, see you later, Thomas Toomey. Like I said, I'll be keeping my mind open to your prediction, your insider knowledge. We'll see if it plays out, and I'll give you credit if it does. Wasn't GMK release date delay? Do you mean Godzilla vs. Kong? Yes, it was pushed back by a week, which, whatever. My first Godzilla movie was Godzilla 2000. I didn't understand what I was watching. I could say it would be kind of confusing for depending on how old you are. What is my favorite Godzilla mobile game? Is there that many of them? Probably the one that came out for 2014 with the matching color puzzle game. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I think it was called Smash Attack or something. Smash Words. I don't know. That was fun. Godzilla would like walk through the city and destroy stuff, and then you'd have to like connect the colors, and they would blow up, and then you get points. Godzilla Smash 3, yeah, that's what it was called. That's my favorite Godzilla mobile game out of the like 2 that exist in the world. You think the MonsterVerse will continue with movies after GVK? It depends on how well this movie does. I mean, they're gonna continue on with like the Kong animated series, but as far as like movies go, I think they're really paying attention to the reception of this one. Do you think this film, with the whole Mega Godzilla thing, do you think it will take a 2002 approach? Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in the stream. There is that Godzilla skeleton in the Philippines. So they could build an armature over that. I would like to see a proper Godzilla game, maybe a sort of open world game. Yeah, I have my ideas for a Godzilla game. That will never happen. There was one mobile game where you played a soldier and made a Halo jump. Yeah, that was called Strike Force or something. It was like a first-person game. For what it was interesting. That's as far as I'll go with it. Will you do reviews for Jurassic Park World movies? Maybe. I've been getting enough requests for them, so maybe I'll budge and do it. But I just don't consider those to be within the genre that I discuss on this channel. But apparently enough people are interested to hear my takes. Good morning from India. Good evening from the United States. Do you like Godzilla or Kong better? Godzilla, of course. Although I do like Kong, but I like Godzilla way more. Which film was better, original Jurassic Park or Gojira? I mean, look, I grew up with Jurassic Park. That's like the movie. So I'm gonna have to go with Jurassic Park. I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for that movie. Let's just say that. Honestly, I'll be interested in you reviewing some Ultraman stuff with the Shin movie coming up. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's just hard to, because it's a TV series. Like, do I review each episode individually or do I watch the whole thing and then do my thoughts? In which that case, that's going to be a while. Would you consider doing a video where you rank all Godzilla films? Maybe. I mean, I did a tier list on my 50K stream, which is kind of similar, but I guess technically not the same thing. So it's definitely a potential to do that. I was wrong. It was Terry Rossio that wrote the unmade Godzilla TriStar. Ted Elliott, along with Ted Elliott, but Terry Rossio that wrote Godzilla vs. Kong, and Elliott is seemingly not involved. They have similar names. Was confused too, obviously, but I knew who you meant in concept anyway. King Kong vs. Godzilla was the movie which got me into movies. I am overly sentimental for that film. That's an interesting film to have to be your like cornerstone film. Like that's really cool. Maybe treat it like when you're reviewing a movie would probably be the best way to tackle it. It's just a lot more than just one movie. I'll consider it. Probably have to go back and rewatch the first few episodes again just to refresh my memory. Love your videos. Thank you so much for making them. Just watched your video where you discuss all Godzilla films. Such a fun time. Thank you, Jason Gable. Are you going to do more Godzilla the series anime openings? I really enjoyed them. No, that was a one and done thing. I feel like I've exhausted the potentials for those. I had like, because when I was making those, I kind of had arcs in mind based on the 50 episodes or 40 episodes that we got. And the third opening is kind of like the final arc. Like, there's really no more content after that. So. Kong's going to win by pooping on Godzilla. Yep, and he's going to pick it up and he's going to throw it at him. Alright, guys, it's been an hour and a half. I think I'm going to call it a night. It was fun going over the trailer and talking about it with you guys. I know a lot of you are probably in here that don't come in for the weekly streams, but usually I play a game of some kind. But tonight we just kind of chilled and discussed the trailer. But usually on the same time every week I play a game of some sort, a kaiju related game. So next week that'll resume. Unless some more crazy news comes out.